More recently, we got our hands on an LED matrix from AdaFruit, but there's just one tiny problem. It doesn't have any feet, and this thing is going to need feet. It's pretty big. This is actually for a buddy's sign project, so it needs to really sit at a tilt. So we got to do something a little custom. So I pulled out my calipers and I brought up FreeCAD and we got to work. Now, unfortunately, each of these displays for these LED matrix from AdaFruit have different sizes. I think the screws are the same thread size, but the displays are different. So this really only applies to the display that we used. One of the most important measurements for this was the angle, because it really needs to sit almost straight up. We settled on a 75-degree angle to give you just enough lean to keep it balanced. Now, of course, it's also going to need some holes here, so let's draw up some holes so that it'll actually mount to the display. Thankfully, this will give us a little bit of margin off of the bottom, so it's going to float just a little bit off of these feet. One thing that I always like to do is to kind of clean up the design a little bit with some fillets or chamfers, just to give it a cleaner appeal. Thankfully, unlike some other designs, you can pretty much fillet every edge on this to kind of slope it and to just give it a less jagged look. But I think she's ready for the printer now. Just throw it on my Bamboo Labs A1 Mini and let it go. I think we can speed this up just a little bit though. Of course, I can print more than one to speed it up, but I really wanted to test it out first to make sure I didn't screw up. Although the adage goes, measure twice, cut once, with 3D printing, you almost always got to print one just to rip the Band-Aid off and test it. All in all, it turned out pretty darn great. I printed off an extra set of 2 of them just to make sure, and it's very stable. Luckily, I had plenty of screws on hand, so I was able to assemble it immediately. I do think it would be an interesting challenge to add on a section to hold on the pie, as well as make room for any of the wires to make it look even cleaner. But this is definitely a good start if you just need feet for it. AdaFruit does sell little feet that are magnetic, but that really only makes sense if you're going to be laying it against something that's already freestanding and metallic. And the intention here really was for it to stand up on a desk as a freestanding sign that can be customized to one's whim. But let's see it again with the lights on. I know this is definitely one of my shorter videos, but I really just wanted to share this project with you guys. I think it's pretty useful, and if you guys do have one of your own LED matrix like this, you can just go onto my Maker World and download it. As always, the link is in my profile on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.